you be me, you said no go one die. Brother, time no day. Sister, time no day.
Okay, check your time right now. It is 9:01. There is time, and that is the time for Kickoff Sports Show. The time where we talk everything sport, and the time that is coming after Arsenal broke the jinx of 14 years of getting to the knockout round of the UEFA Champions League. A time where you have FAVOUR Olorotola on the Wednesday edition of Kickoff Sports Show. A time where you check your pocket and you feel like, okay, the money you have in your pocket to get one or two things is just it's not about the currency or about the amount, but about what you want to get at the market. But this is a time where we can all celebrate to be alive and see some things. A time to also say Nigeria is on the second spot of the All African Games in Ghana. Maybe FAVOUR will become a weightlifter or a wrestler so that she can add up to medals at the All African Games very soon. Good morning, FAVOUR.
I'm good. And it's a time for me to say congratulations to celebrate my baby Saka for that beautiful feat against FC Porto yesterday. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Kickoff Sports Show. It's that time for us to have the best of sport throughout NBA, Formula One, football, whatever it is that you want to listen to this morning. It's that time to take your sit down, relax, and have fun with the two of us.
Okay, let me just. Well, that was the song of Mehdi, Rude Boy, Time No Day. All right, we don't have any time this morning. We just have to look at some updates here. Well, remember, you can join us live on Facebook, live on YouTube, Solutions 939 FM, and where you can watch, listen. Remember to share, like, and subscribe. Good morning. All right, so we start with tennis on the show this morning. Well, some games already decided at the Indian Wells Masters ATP 1000. Some call it the PNB Paribas Open. And well, remember yesterday was Carlo Alcaraz who avenged the previous loss to Fabian Martin, winning 6-3, 6-3 on Tuesday to reach the quarterfinals of the BNP Paribas Open as the top remaining seed in the men's draw. And well, let's look at the games that decided the wee as of today.
Well, Jannik Sinner was able to defeat Ben Shelton 7-6, 6-1 in just 2 sets in full time. Before today, we have Casper Ruud taking on Gil Monfils and Luca Nardi up against Tommy Paul in the Indian Wells Masters. And then we have the last game for today, Daniel Medvedev taking on Grigor Dimitrov.
All right, I love ladies. Yes, just like how FAVOUR loves fine men. Like Carlo Alcaraz.
Nice soccer.
All right. Okay. All right. Carolina. Okay. Why? Well, Carolina Wozniacki defeated Angelique Kerber this morning to move to the next round of the Indian Wells Masters WTA category, beating Kerber 6-4, 6-2 in the 2 straight sets, while Iga Swiatek defeated Yulian Putintseva 6-1, 6-2 in the game. However, more games to go down today. Emma Navarro to take on Arina Sabalenka by 7 o'clock tonight. Elisa Mertens by 8:30 tonight against Corey Goff. And by 11 o'clock tonight, Daniel Pari will be up against Maria Sakkari. Not Bukayo Saka. All right, we've got tournaments going down in Hamburg. That is Germany, the ATP Challenger. We also have the Kickoff Open in Hungary. It's an ATP tournament. While we have that of the US Phoenix ATP Challenger. Games already decided. Bernard Per, Quentin Hayles, Matteo Berrettini, all winning their games in the wee hours of today. More games to go down from that end. For the ATP Challenger in Santiago, Chile, one game already decided where Federico Agustin Gomez defeated João Fonseca. More games to go down today. But moving away, let's talk about Simona Alep this morning, who's ready to make a return.
Well, she posted a video on Tuesday of her practicing on the courts of the upcoming Miami Open in what will be her first competitive appearance since winning an appeal over a doping suspension. The Romanian former world number one had a 4-year doping ban cut into 9 months by the top court for global sports last week, making her eligible to return to competition immediately.
And looking at what she posted, it's like, yes, it looks as if she's still, that she never left. Well, anybody that wants to face Simona Alep, remember you're in for a big deal. But now moving away from tennis this morning, and let us look at updates coming from the world of the NBA. This morning we report and the result of games where one man already said goodbyes to basketball. But let's talk about Golden State Warriors guard Steph Curry, who has been cleared to resume on court work out after sparing his ankle last week. Curry will start his individual workouts in the Bay Arena before rejoining the team for group practice in Los Angeles on Friday. And that is according to release news we got from Golden State Warriors on Tuesday. However, looking at games decided in the wee hours of today.
Well, Philadelphia 76 has actually lost New York Knicks 79 points to 106. Memphis Grizzlies defeated Washington Wizards 109 points to 97 points. Indiana Pacers picked 121 points at the home front of Oklahoma City Thunder. That was the loss to 111. Houston Rockets, defeated San Antonio Spurs 103 points to 101. It was Boston Celtics, bringing up the Jazz against Utah Jazz 123 points to 107. LA Clippers lost to Minnesota Timberwolves 100 points to 118. Finally, Sacramento Kings defeated Milwaukee Bucks 129 points to 94 points. All right, that happens to be the results coming from the NBA. Now let's move on the show this morning. Still talk about one update that is about Kawhi Leonard. But LA Clippers All-Star Kawhi Leonard left Crypto at the Arena in the first half of Tuesday night, 118 to 110 loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves due to back spasms. And the Clippers said Leonard was suffering from thoracic spasms. Well, source said Leonard went home to rest because he was uncomfortable sitting with that particular knock. But if you look at this man, well, he has been informed for LA Clippers. This is a man who has won the NBA title. So, but you look at your back. You look at if you're good enough, just like some of the tennis stars. Rafael Nadal will always tell you that he picks his games. And, at some point in time, he said he wanted to come back to tennis. But when he looked at his state of health, he said, well, he couldn't continue. But, he couldn't even, go for the tournament. So, we wish a quick recovery to Kawhi Leonard. But now, moving on, let's talk boxing. Favor, you should be ready to see an Anthony Joshua who defeated Francis
Ngannou. Yes, is it Saudi Arabia? Dubai. And we even saw Jose Murillo at that bout. Yeah, so, and with what we are seeing here.
See, the way you said it, made me remember one of the comments. Jose Murillo picking his next player.
Picking his next player from boxing. Okay, yes, and there's one thing about Jose Mourinho. He likes big, heavy defenders, heavy players, most especially from Africa. He likes playing with African players.
Yeah, let's look at it. If he were to scout for Anthony Joshua, just painting a picture.
If Anthony Joshua was to be a footballer,
where would he play? Defense, strike?
I think I will put Anthony Joshua in the defensive midfield. Why? Because look at his physique. Look at how calm he is. As a calm player, you can't play up front.
Okay.
Because the defenders will just bully you and you won't be physical. But if you're in the defensive midfield, at least you can get the ball, throw the passes. You can as well go back, help the defenders as well. And it's going to be hard for you to concede an own goal as a calm player. So that is position
It's
and
gonna
Anthony
be in the
Joshua.
middle. It'll be sweet in the middle.
Can it be? No, I don't know. But yeah, WBC President Mauricio Sulaiman says, well, the body will accept Anthony Joshua going on to face the winner of Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk's clash for the undisputed heavyweight championship. Fury and Usyk will meet on May 18 in Saudi Arabia for all the belts before facing off again in a rematch expected to take place later in the year. Now, from my own side, I think there's going to be a clause here. I hope this bout will come up. That is Tyson Fury Usyk. But for Anthony Joshua, he needs to keep fighting. Why? If he faces Alexander Usyk, this is the man that has defeated Anthony Joshua more than once.
No one's not fine.
And for Anthony Joshua, facing Tyson Fury, that has been a long-awaited bout. Look at the height of Tyson Fury compared to that of Anthony Joshua. And look at the opponent of Anthony Joshua. They don't really look like guys who have won it all. I mean, having a man come from UFC to boxing to professional boxing, you expect that same guy to knock out Anthony Joshua. No, could it work, man? But now let's move on this morning. We go to the other side as we go straight to Ghana, not to Cameroon, and look at what African athletes are doing at the African Games.
Well, we are seeing this coming, actually. Well, look at it. Egypt is already still taking the first spot, but Nigeria has jumped to number 2 from number 5.
Favor. Hold it.
Nigeria has jumped.
Nigeria has not dropped.
I said jumped.
No, Nigeria has been in the second spot for the past few days. Yes,
the last time I checked was Saturday. They were number 5.
No, something happened on Sunday.
Oh boy.
Yes, Sunday, Monday.
Congratulations, Nigeria.
Are you sure you're a Nigerian? Oh, you're an Algerian.
I am an Egyptian. I take the number 1.
Okay, Favor is supporting Salah now, but here, looking at the rankings, I mean, the reason I believe that it's going to be difficult for Nigeria to move to the number 1 spot is look at the number of gold medals Egypt has amassed
53
in the past few days. 53 gold medals, and that means that if Nigeria needs to usurp Egypt, that means Nigeria needs to get like 31, more than 31 medals. You know why? Because if you have 22, you add 31 to 8. That means you have that's going to be like 33. So if you're going to have more than that, and look at the number of silver and look at the number of bronze, Egypt has got 21 silver, Nigeria has 10, Egypt has 20 bronze, Nigeria has 16. And look at the last in the meetings that Nigeria and Egypt have been able, the last time they met, most especially at different games. Look at tennis, look at badminton, and some other events at the All African Games. It has been Egypt picking the gold. So which shows that Nigeria will have to work more, and Nigeria also needs to look at their back. Algeria is behind Nigeria.
The only grace Nigeria is the 22 gold medals that they can drop at any time. So let's be factual here.
Do you know what happens? Do you know what may happen at the end of the day? Should Algeria get like 3 gold medal, that means Nigeria will drop. And look at the total medal that Algeria has got, 66, which is 18 gold, 23 silver, 25 bronze, and Nigeria has got 22 gold, 10 silver, 16 bronze. But it is all about the gold right there at the All African Games. But let's also drive down to see some countries here to pick gold. Gold they have not.
Silver they have. Silver they have not.
No. Gold they have not. Before we get to silver and gold, they have not. Gold they have not. We have Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire, Senegal, Angola, Mozambique, Botswana, Republic of Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo, Burkina Faso, Eritrea, Kenya, Central African Republic, and but I mean the goals they have not is just like how many countries, like 5 countries, but silver, the gold and silver they have not. Okay, these people are behind me today. Botswana, Republic of Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo, Burkina Faso, Eritrea, Kenya, Central African Republic, Guinea-Bissau, Rwanda. So silver, gold they have not. Now let me also go to this side. If Nigeria could just continue with this momentum going to the Paris Olympics, it shows that we have chances of claiming gold in wrestling, maybe weightlifting, if at the end of the day we have more athletes. Because if you look at the total number of medals claimed by one athlete in weightlifting, I mean, for an athlete having 3 medals, it shows that we just need to concentrate on some of this sports events. I mean, most especially wrestling, weightlifting. If it is table tennis, it is well. Let's move on, guys. Let's go on a break, and when we come back, we'll look at the Nigeria Premier Football League games and talk the UEFA Champions League. Favor, don't mention Sakai.
The drama, the suspense, the emotions, the gang moments. Don't miss out on Nollywood movies and web series on YouTube with the YouTube Buffet plan from MTN. You can enjoy over 10 hours of Nollywood content made for you. Sharply dial *312*800# to activate the YouTube Buffet plan from MTN and start enjoying YouTube made for you.
Every day when my children return from school, I don't recognize them. Hello, do I know you?
It's us, mommy.
But these dirty, sweaty uniforms and socks, we're clean in the morning. Everything don't transform. I understand though, school is hectic. It takes energy to come home this transformed. So I make sure they have some nutritious Milo at breakfast.
Your kids need nourishing energy. Give them the new and improved Milo at breakfast. It has nutrients that support energy release to help them get the most out of their day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo.
Let's move away from the All-African games and go to the NPFL, Premier Pro, whatever.
The Nigerian Premier Football League. I mean, it's going to be the match day 25, and let's see some fixtures here.
All right, Gombe United will be on the road to play Plateau United. Doma United will be taking on Shooting Star Sport Club. Aqua United will be taking on Vendel Insurance. Heartland will be up against Abia Warriors. Kano Pillars 4 o'clock. Enugu Rangers. Kara United taking on Bayelsa United. Rivers United taking on Lobby Stars. Niger Tornadoes up against Sporting Lagos. Remo will be at Ikene taking on and defending the fort against Ayimba. Casino United taking on Sunshine Stars. All these games are game 25. All were played simultaneously by 4 o'clock. Oh, except
the two
United
matches, yeah.
and Doma United match.
I mean, Plateau United going to be United is 2 o'clock. Doma United Shooting Stars is 3 o'clock. Wish all the teams all the best, and we hope that Sporting Lagos can just, consolidate the victory they had against Remo Stars in the Southwest Derby against the Niger Tornadoes. However, Remo Stars can bounce back from the defeat they had against my Sporting Lagos against Enyimba. Now, let's move on this morning. Favor, do not drag me. Well, updates we're getting from the Nigeria Football Federation is that, yes, now we have a lot of managers who have put in their CVs and applications to replace Jose Peserio. And over 20 coaches within and outside Nigeria have indicated their interest in the job since the NFF declared the post vacant and called for applications for interested football coaches. And
I refuse to say anything.
you may say something.
No.
You may say something.
No,
Concerned.
not
But I don't know why. A former Nigerian international, Sunday Lise, is expressing his readiness to coach the Super Eagles of Nigeria if right conditions are in place for him again. He has once managed the Super Eagles of Nigeria. That also resulted to Vincent Enyama leaving the national team. MNK also leaving the national team. So, I don't know. Maybe Sunday Lise has learned his lessons. Maybe or maybe not.
I guess, a lot of people do not actually change when they are in the leadership position.
Until when they are outside.
Even if you're outside, you come back again, you might actually
Repeat
the same thing. I guess what the NFF should look out for is someone that can actually manage people, manage the football, manage everything to make sure that the Super Eagles actually maintain that sport they started during the AFCON 20.
The form. Well,
yes.
if you look at, I don't know, looking at those who applied or those who have, those who applied for the job, I still need to ask if some of the backroom staff of Jose Peserio, those Nigerians, put in that position in the technical committee, had also showed interest, because you look at the players invited for the friendly games. Yes, it's majority of those players played under Jose Peseiro. I think one or two are joining the team, who did not play under Jose Peseiro. So it is more of, okay, what tactics can these guys, be okay with? What worked under Jose Peseiro? What did not work under Jose Peseiro? And we move forward. But I also feel like we shouldn't be using the Super Eagles technical advisor position to experiment, to build CVs. The former technical advisor, to Super Eagles, for Super Eagles of Nigeria, before Jose Peseiro, came on board. Now I've forgotten his name. It is more of, this man just came to build a CV with the Super Eagles of Nigeria's job. Then
leave. The same with the Super Series. You think so?
We didn't renew the contract.
I felt like
Gone or raw. Yeah, thank you.
I felt like a Super Series wouldn't actually take the Super Eagles to the second position in the AFCON because of his contract wanted to be expired. I feel whomever it is that's taking that position, NFL should look at it, make a very good decision, and not play with those players. We need them. We need them to make us proud, they've been doing.
Okay, but another thing is, you look at some. I mean, for NFF itself, like, NFF is broke, yeah, and most times, okay, when they say they want to hire local coaches, you want to hire coaches that they can't control. You can't hire some. I mean, you just have to leave the job of technical responsibility to the technical advisor. So most times when the coach invites players, you see some set of people from the NFF come, bring their personal list, want to inject some players into the team, most especially maybe the NFF president and his cohort. So they also want some technical advisors that they can say, oh, we don't want this player, we want you to do this, we want you to do this. But yes, there must be a contract that the technical advisor must sign. But another thing is, allow these people do their job, because at the end of the day, it is the head of the technical advisor that will go should Nigeria fail to qualify for World Cup or even qualify for the Africa Cup of Nations. But let's move on this morning. It was the UEFA Champions League games that went down last night, and that's the reason FAVOUR has been smiling all day. And
why do you think I've been smiling? Is it because of Arsenal, or what do you think?
For Arsenal.
I'm smiling for my baby, not. Let me lay emphasis on Saka, my
FAVOUR.
baby, not Arsenal per se.
FAVOUR lot 10, yeah, but let's. But I mean, the result of Arsenal yesterday was just because of one man. That was the goalkeeper of Arsenal, who made saves in the penalty shootout. But Arsenal surviving that penalty shootout. It is more of, look at some players who came in under Arteta, who have been able to make a name for themselves at the end of the day. But now getting to that quarterfinal. But let's listen to Mikel Arteta this morning, speaking about his happiness, and the goalkeeper, who was very composed going into the penalty shootout.
What we expected, a really tough opponent, really well organized, very difficult to generate constant momentum in the game and the way they play, and that's credit to them. We did it. We scored a beautiful goal. From there, we insisted, probably in different ways, that the way the game allows as well. And it's a huge experience for us. We had to do it at the end through the penalties. We prepared well. Credit to the coaches as well, the when they've done it, and obviously for David, that had some difficult moments to start, but he stood up with incredible personality and ambition, and at the end he got rewarded in his moment. Yeah, well, I don't have to see him today. I was very convinced that that was going to be the case, and you see him the first few days here, what he had to go through and how he did it with what composure. You look at his body language and decision that he takes, he doesn't get very affected, and that's a key quality for a goalkeeper.
Nick from the Guardian.
Well, quality players. Let's move away from the UEFA Champions League to the UEFA Champions League.
No, we've got
I still got some
not that
games
UEFA
going
Champions
on
League. Yes,
today.
round of
Atletico Madrid will be up against Inter.
what?
Borussia Dortmund against PSG. I want to talk to Priscilla.
I think we need to cut that video out. But I mean, looking at Atletico Madrid versus Inter Milan, that game is going down in Spain. And for Inter Milan, they are doing well for themselves this season. Look at what they've been doing in the Italian Serie A. It's like two rugged sides facing each other. Atletico Madrid, Inter Milan, but it's going to be a tough one tonight.
Unfortunately, Newcastle cannot smell this, so I'm just...
Kilo mean.
They can't smell it.
But let's look at some players who will be missing the game tonight for Atletico Madrid. Jimenez, Lemar, Vitolo. Questionable for tonight is Cesar Azpilicueta. And for Inter Milan, Arnautovic, Carlo Augusto, Cuadrado, Sensi, all ruled out of the game tonight. However, PSV Eindhoven will be up against Borussia Dortmund. I feel PSV Eindhoven has gotten to the final ball stop
My last
of the UEFA Champions League. But look at Hala has been ruled out for Borussia Dortmund due to injury, ankle injury. Bamba and Skoltberg due to yellow card. And Long has been ruled out for PSV Eindhoven due to muscle injury. So that is what it looks like in the UEFA Champions League for tonight. Now let's just move down because there's going to be the draws going down on Friday, and let's look at some teams already that have booked their places into the quarter final of the UEFA Champions League.
Okay, starting from Manchester City, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Paris Saint-Germain, Arsenal, Barcelona.
So they're waiting for just two teams, either Atletico Madrid or Inter Milan, PSV or Borussia Dortmund. Now that's the update from that end. Now let's move away from that. Let's talk about some crisis rocking Italian Serie A side, AC Milan.
Okay, the office of AC Milan was searched by police on Tuesday as part of an investigation by Italian prosecutors into the sale of the Serie A giant. Well, Italian financial police entered Milan's offices on Tuesday and also reportedly searched the homes of current CEO Guido Furlani and former chief executive Ivan Gardizes, if I got that correct, who held the role from 2018 to 2022.
There will always be crisis in Italy. But let's also talk about women here, right? The first ever competition between the best women's club teams in North and Central America and the Caribbean will begin later this year, according to CONCACAF on Tuesday.
Well, the CONCACAF W Champions Cup follows the inaugural W Gold Cup between the region's best national teams, which concluded on Sunday with the U.S. women's national team beating Brazil 1-0 in the final.
There's one thing about American sports journalists, or yes, there's a way they put their teams forward, but there's no problem. We join you guys there. But now let's move on. This morning, I'm not Ningi. I'm not being suspended from this show, but I'll be back tomorrow morning as we look at more updates from the world of sport. But hey, looking at headlines on the pages of Nigerian newspapers and what is trending this morning. What happened to Ningi at the National Assembly? Myself and Damola Lafewa were discussing the decision to be taken. But some said yesterday that maybe the Senate shouldn't have spent a lot of time deliberating to take a decision on suspending Ningi. Laffy, don't suspend me.
No, I feel that deliberation, that long deliberation was needed because he had to be given a fair airing, because I was happy that Ningi was even at the floor of the Senate yesterday, and I think he was given a particular time to say his own thing, and so I think it was a good one on the part of the Senate. It wasn't too. It might be too long, but I think it was a fair airing.
A fair airing, but when I first heard 6 months suspension from the Senate, look at. Okay, so that means it's constituted.
It was initially 12 months. Somebody proposed. 12
yeah, someone proposed. Yes, 12.
Amended.
Yes, amended to 6. Then later, is it 3 months now? 3 months. So it is more of what the constituents will surely enjoy in that 3 months, or what they will lose. Because if I could remember, Fatai Buhari, who's from Oyo State, said, okay, people they should also consider the constituents, what they'll be losing, what they'll be gaining. And if Ningi now comes out to apologize, maybe they can recall him.
Ningi should have apologized
on the floor of the Senate
yesterday when he was given the time to talk, but he refused and he stood his ground. And I think he should have I should have thought about the concern of his constituent too.
Maybe he also saw that coming. Maybe you saw the video I posted on my status saying that he doesn't care even if they suspend him.
Yeah, I think he was prepared for it.
Okay, so I know you're prepared for the show. Guys, you don't go anywhere. It is from the Daily. It's coming right now.
I carry love for body. Show you go wine like tsunami for my vuvuzela. I don't get time for a pussy. Me never talk a massive you. Look when they ask me what are we are nothing but pencils in the hands of the creator. Kilimanjaro make we dance. Party until the sun is up. No go they wine me Roma. See the bottles where we dey pop. Plenty pressure fit kill a man. Now the money I want the job. Oh, we again. Oh, we run out tomorrow again. We can't let this feeling fade away from my body. Oh, ha, meme. I know feel la vida, meme. Valentina and Kewe. Tibati Motiba Bembe. Oh, feel alive, yes, I feel alive. Kele day for the corner side. She won't blow me like she be dynamite. To be just like a dynamite. Kajalo sit that kamonti. I carry love for body. She you go wine like tsunami for my vuvuzela. I don't get time for a pussy. Me never talk a massive you. You can ask me what are we are nothing but pencils in the hands of the creator. Kilimanjaro make we dance. Party until the sun is up. No go they wine me Roma. See the bottles where we dey pop. Plenty pressure fit kill a man. Now the money I want the job. Oh, we again. Oh, we run out tomorrow again. We can't let this feeling fade away from my body. Oh, we again. Oh, we run out tomorrow again. We can't let this feeling fade away from my body. Ha.
Let's be dynamic with your morning update and make it better with Kickoff Sports Show, where we will be serving you all the latest from tennis, basketball, Formula One, football, exclusive interviews, and lots more.
Hamilton going for the move on Alonso at the 130. These two great side by side.
Martinelli! Oh yes! Gabriel Martinelli is back with a bang!
Headlines from Nigerian newspapers, behind the papers from the stand, analysis on burning trending issues across Nigeria and beyond.
The problem is not politics or tribalism but corruption.
The governors will say, give us our own slot. The chairman of local government will say, give us our own slot. Who does those slots go to?
You offend, they arrest you, they detain you, and they release you. That's all.
Hello, my name is OLADAPO Okunubi.
My name is Victory Onyedikachi.
My name is Adedamola Lafenwa.
And my name is FAVOUR Oloruntola.
Join us weekdays 9 a.m. on your Remedy Radio dial, Solutions 939 FM.
Here, we make it different from the norm.
All right, another beautiful Wednesday morning in the big and beautiful city of Ibadan. My name is Adedamola Lafenwa. With so much pleasure, I welcome you to the From the Daily segment on AM Update. And quite a number of interesting stories in the papers this morning. Good morning, Favor Alontola.
Good morning to you, sir. Good morning, everybody. I'm back again, so let's do this. Well, the Punch newspaper and the Nation newspapers are the papers I'll be taking this morning. Remember, in the long run, you will have a chance to be a part of the program. You can join us live on Facebook at Solutions 939 FM. Drop your comments, and we'll reel that out to everyone to listen to as well.
Okay, I've got the Vanguard newspaper as well as the Nigerian Tribune.
All right, I'll be taking the front page of the Punch newspaper right this moment. And we have budget padding controversy. Rankins senator get 17 billion naira constituency votes. Ningi suspended. Page 2. Senators got 500 million naira votes each, says Jaribe. Ningi resigns as Northern Caucus chair. Okpemi says 500 million naira for constituency project, alleges some lawmakers plotting Akpabio's removal. Now, still on the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning, Tinubu 6 Ramadan prayers, Jigar slashes working hours. FG probes 107 universities over fake degrees. That story is on page 7 of the Punch newspaper. Abductions. Reps tackle NSA, IG deploys squads in Kaduna, Kano State. Ayedatiwa declares governor's bid, says Reps. 18 lawmakers nod. Please grill Prime Boy over petition by Mohbad's wife. And still on the front page of the Punch newspaper, APC, PDP clash over Fubara. Akpabio's political jibes as Wigwe's burial. As you can find the story on page 14. Finally, we have some arms with some suspects being paraded here. Army busts illegal gun factory in Delta, arrests 8 of them. You can get this and more from the Punch newspaper.
Okay, the Senate was thrown into a rowdy session yesterday as a result of the alleged budget pardon. And there was a hearing at the Senate yesterday, which was even televised live. And the Vanguard captures the story on its front page. Alleged budget pardon rumpus as senators bicker over money sharing. And there are quite a number of riders under that caption. Ningi Jaribe, open can of worms. We are all culpable. So-called senior senators got 500 million naira. I got 75 million naira. Jaribe. We don't know how much Akpabio and his deputy earn. Ningi. Senate suspend Ningi for 3 months. Ningi resigns as chairman, Northern Senators Forum. Akpabio meets Tinubu over rumpus. What happened on Senate floor was embarrassing, says ex-senator. We need to revisit our national priorities. Sunny. Okay, moving away from that story. Threat to life. Bauchi governor apologizes to Tinubu's wife. That story is found on page 13 of the Vanguard newspaper. FG postpones student loan scheme launch indefinitely. Page 39. Agbekoya, OPC hunters mobilize as Governor Adeleke uncovers plot to attack schools, farms in Osun. Atiku denies dumping PDP, slams Tinubu. These and many more stories will be found on the pages of the Vanguard. Let me take 2 more. 2023 presidential poll, most divisive in Nigeria's history, VP Shetima. And the last one I'll be taking is from Edo State. It says, Edo Guba, APC may settle for Ogbeide Ihama as running mate to Okpeboholo. Okay, much my break here.
Okay, I'll be taking it from there and accelerating to the Nation newspaper this morning. Abdul Razak Ododo 6 Tinubu's intervention in Ilorin Lokoja Highway. Tinubu won per Nigerian mandate, says Shetima. Attempts to stop him from ethno-religious fault line failed. Senate suspends Ningi over false budget padding claim. And there's something there. We'll just keep that and move to the envelope headline here. Ayedatiwa targets self-sustaining Ondo State. Minister discusses the fair over cause of outages in homes, offices. Pension funds yet 193 5 trillion naira. Adeleke alleges attack threats to schools, farmlands, as we have Shaibu Su's INEC. And that is on page 8 of the Nation newspaper.
Okay, moving to the Nigerian Tribune this morning, 3.325 trillion naira allocation. Reps worry over ravaging insecurity. Probe utilization of $20 million safe school. Fund abduction of 200 students. Let me take that. Probe utilization of $20 million safe school fund. Abduction of over 200 students. Economic crisis. Tinubu wants apportion blame. Shetima. That story is found on page 28. Kano, Jigawa, Katsina need 600 megawatts daily. Get 180 megawatts. KEDCO. That story is found on page 28. To the biggest story on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune, alleged 3.7 trillion naira budget pardon. Our senators nailed Ningi. And there are so many, quite a number of riders under that. Opeyemi, Musa, Ibrahim, Karimi, others set tone for his 3-month suspension. Jarigbe claims so-called senior senators got 500 million naira each. Those who lost out in race for Senate presidency bent on ousting Akpabio, Senate leader. Court can't stop suspension of Bauchi senator, Senate spokesman. Ningi resigns as Northern Senators Forum chairman. Akpabio meets Tinubu. And there is a picture of the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, meeting former president and head of state, that is General Ibrahim Babangida, at his palatial mansion in Mina, Niger State. There's a picture on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. Moving away from that, Ayedatiwa formally declares for Ondo governorship. Page 2. Osun governor raises alarm over planned attack on schools. Farm. Bandits demand 20 million naira in exchange for Sokoto Zangaya students. Atiku tackles Tinubu over report linking him to PDP exit. And the last one I'll be taking says a body of killed driver of kidnapped Ekiti school children recovered. These and many more stories will be found on the pages of the Nigerian Tribune this morning.
Okay, away from the newspapers, let us go to the burning trending issue for today. Right, it's no longer news that Nige has been suspended from the Senate, but the Senate leadership of the Senate, President Godswill Akpabio, suspended Senator Abdul Nigi over allegations that the National Assembly passed a budget of 25 trillion naira for 2024, which is in contrast of the 28.7 trillion naira being implemented by the federal government. Now, we are going to listen to what Nigi said, but there is also something or someone in the Senate who also, I think, backed Nigi.
Authority. As a member of the Preparation Committee, there is nothing like budget pardon. And so I want to discountenance this, and I want to tell the whole world that Abdul Ningi is not telling the truth. He is out on the worst form of partisanship and the worst form of political mischief. The Thursday meeting with the Senate President that since this document is not yet authenticated, nobody should go to the press over it, because the finding may go one way or the other. It may be a mere ruse. And we were all taken aback. On Friday, many online platforms were inundated by reports.
Okay, confirmation that Nigi has been suspended. But Senator Jaribe also received or reviewed something shocking, which of course you read on, I think, the Nigerian Tribune this morning, saying all of us are culpable.
Yeah, from Vanguard.
That from the Vanguard newspaper. Here is him speaking on it.
On these issues and coming up with part of the budget and individual issues concerning what came to our various constituencies. if we want to go into those issues, all of us are culpable. Some senators here, so-called senior senators, got 500 million each. I am a ranking senator, I didn't get. Did I go to the press? Most of you got. And yes, if we want to go into those issues, excuse me, if we want to go into those issues, yes. So I think that Senator Ningi,
I'm seeing about again. I know let me turn to my Bible.
Okay, just like the Vanguard newspaper puts it this morning, Jarigbe Ningi opened can of worms. A lot of cans of worms were opened on the floor of the Senate yesterday with so much revelation, which some of them are quite shocking to some Nigerians, while some Nigerians don't even find it shocking anymore. I mean, he said some senior senators got as large as 500 million naira each, while some got about 75 million naira each. Jarigbe even said that he got 75 million naira.
Some people got 500 million.
Okay, to do justice to this, we were talking with our guest analyst this morning. That is Comrade Ayodeji Ajishope will be joining us virtually this morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Yes, good morning to you, my dear comrade, brother and sister. It's an interesting morning.
It is a very interesting morning.
I would liken the Senate to the House of Drama this morning because it's just like Basbo's left, right, center. But hey, we have to talk about that this morning.
I mean, I know that Paul and Victory and you dwelled so much on the issue of Ningi. Now, Ningi has been suspended. But in the process of giving him a fair hearing yesterday, a lot of cans of worms were opened on the floor of the Senate yesterday, coming from Ningi and Jarigbe. Now, let's look at this from this angle. That asked me a question earlier on. Do you feel that Ningi was given a fair hearing yesterday before the suspension was given?
Well, what does the rule say? That if you are going to be talking about a hearing, what does the rule say about, ethics and privileges committee handles that? And it was thrown open. Well, let us look at the processes. You had one senator say when they went to meet the Senate president, they said, let us keep this under wraps. And Ningi went up. Let me give you a background of Abdul Ningi.
Okay.
Abdul Ningi in 1998 won, he's from Bauchi. He won his seat to the House of Reps. Before 1998, in the days of Abacha transition, he won a seat to the Bauchi House of Reps. Then he was in the House of Reps from 1999 to 2011, when he now moved to the Senate, 11 to 15. I think he lost out, in the 2015,
election.
Drama. Yes. He has served in various capacities. He has experience. Definitely. He has been chairman of Nigeria Football Federation. He has experience, widespread experience. I am surprised, that Ningi will jump the gun so publicly like that. You are chairman of another Territories Forum. You have experience in how these things are done. You see, in the parliament, there is what they call collective responsibility. When you do things together, you say this is the decision of the House. And you now come out to disown a decision of the House or a decision of even the committee. When they are doing it, you didn't submit a minority report, and then you now come out publicly to denounce a decision of the House. Did you see what Senator Adiola said about that padding?
Yes.
Adiola said The 3 trillion is not in the budget because it is in the first line chart. Will Ningi not understand or know that? I am very surprised at the card played and the way he played his card. Look, certainly fair hearing. Of course, it is the rule of the mob now. You had it now. The nays had a higher voice decibel, but the IAs had it because it was the Senate president that was going to rule. Unless, of course, when there's there is so much noise and they now call for a division. You understand? When they say the IAs and the nays, and then the Senate president ruled in a way that the members disagreed with, they will now call for a division and they will put it to vote. But it was a mob rule yesterday. You understand?
Yes.
Okoyemi Bamidele came out so vociferously and he started breaking the whole thing down into southern.
Oh boy. Okay, we'll have to reach out to Comrade again.
Again. It's really getting interesting there.
It's really getting interesting. Well, he is actually telling us some maybe most of the things that are really going down at the Senate. Like it was stated here that it's looking like the integrity of the Senate has been totally damaged and the upper chamber has been subjected to ridicule. Nigerians are really bashing the parliament for the budget. And okay, thank you very much. Welcome
Comrade,
back.
you're back.
Let's have it.
Yeah, as I was saying before we lost contact. Look, I was surprised the way Okoyemi Bamidele became passionate and was talking north and south. David Mark had an enjoyable tenor and all of that. Look, Akpabio is not skillful. You understand? Akpabio, look at the trouble Saraki had. And he managed to hold on. He
was able to maneuver through.
He was able to maneuver. He's the son of a politician and he lined the ropes. Akpabio is not skillful. His deployment of words. So what he did at the funeral of Wigwe, I think we discussed that.
Yeah, we discussed that on Monday.
He is not skillful. That's not the fact that he's a lawyer. He's not skillful in the deployment of words. He thinks he's still a governor. All animals are equal in the Senate, though. All animals are equal. He should remember Okadibo. Okadibo too. I was in the national. Okadibo too was parading himself as if he was, superior to all. The work was put under his feet. Akpabio will be sacrificed at the appropriate time before 2027. That is it is not he does not need a babalawo. Look, they are hell bent on removing him. They are not going to relent. Those who want him removed. And little by little, they will be gathering support. This suspension of Ningi now will add 1 or 2 more senators to the swelling ranks of anti-Akpabio senators.
Okay, that means what the Senate leader said on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune, saying that those who lost out in the race for Senate presidency are bent on ousting Akpabio. Could that be true? Could that be a true statement?
Well, what I know is that it is not over. And you see, when you sustain, immediately after a battle like that, you will handpick a few people in that camp and give them key positions to neutralize the opposition. Look at what he did to the Senate with. What's his name? That man from Borno. He caught him short on the floor of the Senate. They are already on the collision course. This one now, Ningi, and others like that. You understand? And then the sharing. See how they were complaining about the sharing of constituency funds. 500 million to some senators, 75 to some. One said he's a ranking senator and he got only 75. How can a ranking senator get 75? Another 500 million. You see, there must be some level of fairness so that they will not accuse you of being unfair.
And Ningi even said that we don't know how much Akpabio and his deputy earn. Ningi said it too. But before we even come to
I think that is dubious.
Before we even come to that, now it's believed in some quarters that there was a kind of a betrayal on the part of the Northern Senators Forum, as in how they dissociated themselves openly on the floor of the Senate with Ningi's statement and his behavior?
You see, I think Ningi acted alone, and he expected, solidarity. You understand?
Okay.
Look, everybody is in the Senate on his own. You understand? And I don't think what Ningi was saying, he tried to color it. He said the South, one section got more than the North. You understand? He tried to give this thing northern coloration. And those people saw through that drama that it is not a North-South matter. Just like that man from Borno that was saying that the movement of some certain offices by CBN to Lagos was against the interests of the North. We only found out later that 2 of his children were to be transferred to Lagos. So, people saw through that this is a personal agenda rather than a northern agenda. That was why they put, Northerners, they will rally around their own. But this time around, they saw through it and they said, look, everybody is here on his own as individual senators. Ningi is on his own. Ningi misfired. I am so surprised that Ningi, the man that has been in the National Assembly since 1999, misfired like that. But he did the honorable thing by resigning his position. I respect him for that.
Okay. I know people was driving at the 500 million.
Yes, I was driving at it, the 75 million to 500 million. I was about to look at disparity 1, and then the fact that this monies might just be overboard. Let's talk about that.
What do you mean overboard? They are meant for constituency projects.
Now, you're so conversant with the run-ins at the Senate. Now, how often is this money being released to each senator? Talking about the constituency.
The constituency project is a one-off thing. You understand? It's a one-off thing.
Okay.
It's a one-off thing. In the days of Obasanjo, they started out actually, I think, giving the money to them. But, they don't tie it to ministry. What do you want in your constituency? I think they started with allocating money first, and then they will now tie it to projects, which is not normal. You should tie it to projects, you understand? You should tie it to specific projects. And then, but they allow them the leeway, you understand, of supervision. They allow them the leeway in nominating, the contractor, you understand? And that is where the hanky-panky begins. Let me tell you categorically today, there are members of the National Assembly, House of Rep and Senators, who sell their constituency project. And I mean sell, S-E-double-L. They sell and collect the money. And then if I represent about
sell to who? Sell to who?
They sell to their fellow members and collect cash. They sell. And then me, I will buy your constituency project. And then I will pay for it. Me, I want to work. I want re-election. I want to, work for my people. So I buy your constituency project and go and cite it in my own constituency. You will collect cash and go on smiling. That's our constituency project. I stand here for anyone to challenge me on that.
Interesting.
You see, it is a house of drama.
It's indeed a house of drama. I don't know if Favor still has anything about Senate before we move away from that. Okay, I saw this particular story. We're moving away from the Senate now. I saw this particular story on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper talking about FD postpones student loan scheme launch indefinitely. Now, this is meant to be one of the kind of so-called to
flagship
to the hardship. Now the federal government
flagship program.
Flagship. Now they are saying that it's been suspended indefinitely. Are we going to say that the federal government seems to have beaten more than it could chew?
That program, that bill that eventually became an act, is the baby of Gbajabiamila, the former speaker. It is the baby of Gbajabiamila. It was, in a rushed fashion put together to serve electoral purposes. They just rushed it, and they forgot that it will be implemented, and the implementation will expose, your office of the speaker, you have every leverage, calling stakeholders, You didn't call in ASU. You didn't call in educators. You call in stakeholders. You call in. You have legal draftsmen. You call them in. 2, 3, 4 weeks, they will produce something. But they just did a shoddy job to serve electoral purposes. Now it has served electoral purposes. Implementation is becoming, a big problem. Look at it. We'll implement now, and the platform will be open. The site will be open tomorrow. I was saying it on this platform that if they dare open that platform they are proposing, that site they are proposing, it will crash within 24 hours. Here we are, postponed indefinitely. It shows lack of planning. They didn't put, and what is wrong? Okay, take a look at it again. Take it back. Do the needful. There's no harm in that. When you take a wrong step, you retrace your steps. You understand? Because they have to amend the law. They have to amend that law. They cannot work it as it is presently constituted. It is not nice that is coming from Bajabi Amila, a former speaker and a legal practitioner himself. It was a shoddy job. It was designed to be a political instrument. It has served that purpose. The implementation has become an impossible task now. Very bad one.
Okay, very bad one. Okay, do you?
Okay. I would rather not speak on this because I felt it wasn't.
And I must add that they are dashing the hopes. The hopes with escalating fees in tertiary institutions.
Do you think it's dashing? Do you think it's dashing the hopes? Because I remember when this was said on the news, and most people actually condemned it. They were not happy about the fact that there will be students alone in the Nigerian universities.
That there will be student loans?
Yes. There was the populace wasn't really, enthusiastic about this being said or being brought up from the Senate.
You see, the Nigerian population, let me tell you this today. I have come to the conclusion that the Nigerian population is largely ignorant, and we do not ask appropriate questions, and we do not seek what you don't know. You ask me anything I do not know. I will ask, no matter how maybe younger or whatever, I will ask, because the moment I know, what I know is mine. I won't be asking again. But we don't ask questions. It is not a bad idea in itself. There are a few, issues there. You say they must start paying 2 years after. When we have had people who graduated from university 10, 15 years ago and they are currently jobless, you understand? How are they going to start paying back 2 years after? You can only ask them to start paying back 2 years after, which you have evidence that they are already working. And do we have the database, of those who are working in one way or the other or not, so that they cannot lie? You understand? All these things must be in place so that you cannot lie. I used to know a woman. She schooled in the United States, an American citizen. She was working in Nigeria. She was working in Nigeria in one telecom company. She was repaying, while working in Nigeria, she was repaying her student loan in America. She knew she had to repay no matter what, because they were tracking her. They knew she was working in Nigeria. And apart from that, if you fail to, you see, they call it credit rating. What those people in Europe and the United States and all those societies where you have easy access to credit, what they guard more than their life is their credit rating. They will not do anything that will affect their credit rating.
Definitely.
You understand? Because if you are supposed to pay back, you don't pay back, even if interest is added, your credit rating will start going down. And then that can put you in problem. But yeah, you can borrow money from even a bank and not even pay back, and nothing happens. So until we have database and structures in place to ensure, that people do not default and get away with it. You understand? After all, we have scholarship. Scholarship in the 50s, Western State Scholarship Board. Scholarship board used to exist in Oyo State. I don't know whether it's still very active.
Yeah,
active. What are they doing?
I was actually going to ask you that. Shouldn't the federal government have opted for the scholarship scheme instead of the student loan? Because we seem to copy a lot from the developed countries, but we don't have like you said now, we don't have the infrastructure in place to really go to operate it the way it's being done over there. Like you said now, okay, over there they give you student loan. Talk about America now, because they believe that when you graduate, it is very certain that you'll get a job to pay back. But it is not the same thing in Nigeria here. So,
of course not.
So
10
now,
years after, you are still looking for jobs.
Proposing the student loan scheme for Nigerians, are we going to call it dead on arrival? Something that is not really, that is not even operational.
Well, they will implement it one way, yeah.
Can I even ask a question? With the way this is going, is this going to be another dead end on another policy that can never ever
see the light of the
day?
Nigeria?
Because other policies keep coming up and they never see the light of day.
They must implement it. You see, if NAMS and ASU were to be what they used to be, we're not hearing anything from students.
Did you say they must implement it? Did you say they must implement it?
They must implement it.
Now, what happens to what happens to a student that gets a loan, student loan, and after graduation, like you said, I know people that 5 years after graduation, they are yet to get a job. How do you expect such students to pay back? When you say
I haven't got a means of livelihood, I can't pay. It's as simple as that.
So that means should they go ahead with implementing it?
That is not default. That is not default. I can't pay. I have no means of livelihood. If you have evidence to the contrary, provide it. That I have a means of income and I'm not paying. Even in the United States, the Biden administration, at its inception, proposed that student loans up to 10 billion or more than that be written off. It was piling up. And it's not that people cannot pay. They don't have means of paying. They don't have means of paying. No, it's not as if some do not even have jobs. They have jobs. But the issue of housing, you understand, and other basics that you have to take care of, when you take care of that, what is left is not enough to sustain you. Not to talk of, they see it, you understand. They know what you are earning. They see it. You cannot hide. So they cannot make demands on you that you are not able to fulfill. You understand? So it's just as simple as that. But do we have such infrastructure, as you rightly put it? Do we have such infrastructure in place? No, we do not. But that's what students do. They must implement it. This is an act of parliament. They must implement it.
Okay.
I expect ASU and now what do they call them? Students to pursue this thing. But where are the students' voices again? Where are they?
Okay. All right. Moving away from that, there is a trade of words between Atiku and the president now. Talking about Atiku tackles Tinubu over report linking him to PDP exit. Let's dwell a bit on that before we move to another issue.
Atiku tackles PDP. Atiku tackles Tinubu. Linking him.
Reports linking him that he's about to exit PDP.
So what's the problem with that? It is speculation. It's a report. It's a matter of him saying it is not true. But in Nigeria, and globally, they say there is usually no smoke without fire.
That's true.
You know, it might even be a threat, subtle threat. You put out the word that sometimes you do something for purposes. You put out the word there that I might be departing PDP, and then they say, don't go, come and take the party. We're behind you because, of course, they do. Atiku, if Atiku leaves PDP, Atiku is an industry, you know. Atiku is an industry that people are living on. They have been living on for 20, 25. I can remember even when Atiku left office in 2007. Every year I have a cousin. Every Christmas, that my cousin too had left office. Every Christmas he will send Christmas and Easter. He will send money and send stuff at least in the size of a hillock that will be packed full with stuff. And he has been doing that for God knows how long. If he was doing that to my cousin, you know how many thousands of people he will be doing that to yearly. You understand? So he will do it in December. He will do it in Easter. At least he will do it December. You can imagine how much it costs to do that. So Atiku is an industry, so they will not allow him to leave PDP.
Okay, talking about
and of course
talking about leaving PDP, Philip Shaibo, with the look of things, do you see him exiting PDP?
You see, Philip Shaibu, he left APC. That is his home. That is his natural habitat. He left his natural habitat in a cloud of controversy and dust. And to put icing, to rub salt into the injury. Rubbish, Adam Oshiomhole. His kinsman that brought him, that lifted him up politically, sent him to the House of Reps, paired him with Obaseki, you understand? Apparently, grooming him to succeed Obaseki. But an issue of principle, I think that was what Obaseki stood for. It was an issue of principle, you understand? Because if he had stayed with Adam Oshiomhole, fell with Adam Oshiomhole, and in Adam Oshiomhole's ascendancy again, he would have risen with him. But now, he was instrumental to the pulling down of Adam Oshiomhole, because after they won the gubernatorial election, they went ahead and pulled Adam Oshiomhole with the help of others in APC, the likes of former governor of Ekiti and the former governor of Ogun. Pulled Adam Oshiomhole down from his ward and national chairmanship position. And then you say, you call that place home and you say you want to go back there. Maybe they will take him and use him for electoral process for purposes. Or, the man that actually won, the man that won APC nomination, he's not the candidate of Adam Oshiomhole. So maybe you will work with that word. Because the information out there in the grapevine is that Adam Oshiomhole is actually supporting Asue Godalo.
Yeah.
That is the information from the grapevine. So he may decide to work with APC candidate, Senator Kwebolo. So, but certainly, he has to pitch his tent somewhere. He has to.
Okay, at this point we have to pitch our tent and say au revoir.
Thank you very much for being a part of the program this morning.
My pleasure always. Always my pleasure.
As well. Please have a wonderful day, sir.
By God's grace.
All right.
You too. Fruitful day.
Yes.
Bless you.
Thank you. We just had the conversation with Twitter from the suspension of Gay, and also we went to the student loan that's been suspended, the postponement, let me put it that way, so it's postponement indefinite postponement of the launch of the student loan. Of course, we have you give us your own 3 cents on that. 0912-222-2939 and 0809-888 9939 0809-888-9939 and 0912-222-2939. Remember, you can also drop your comments on Facebook. I see people dropping your comments. Thank you very much for viewing us on Facebook and on our X platform. We'll go there as well to check most of the comments based on the stories that we have treated today. We go on a short break, but come back, take your comments, and then Laffy is eager to go. We'll leave too.
I even have some comments, but maybe after this timeout.
Okay.
Keep it 93.9.
Let's be dynamic with your morning update and make it better with Kickoff Sports Show, where we will be serving you all the latest from tennis, basketball, Formula One, football, exclusive interviews, and lots more.
Hamilton going for the move on Alonso at the 130. These two great side by side.
Martinelli! Oh yes! Gabriel Martinelli is back with a bang!
Headlines from Nigerian newspapers, behind the papers from the stand, analysis on burning trending issues across Nigeria and beyond.
The problem is not politics or tribalism, but corruption.
The governors will say, give us our own slot. The chairman of local government will say, give us our own slot. Who does those slots go to?
You are saying they arrest you, they detain you, and they release you. That's all.
Hello, my name is OLADAPO Okunubi.
My name is Victory Onyedikachi.
My name is Adedamola Lafenwa.
And my name is FAVOUR Oloruntola.
Join us weekdays 9 a.m. on your Remedy Radio dial, Solutions 939 FM.
Here, we make it different from the norm.
The drama, the suspense, the emotions, the gang moments. Don't miss out on Nollywood movies and web series on YouTube with the YouTube Buffet plan from MTN. You can enjoy over 10 hours of Nollywood content made for you. Sharply dial *312*800# to activate the YouTube Buffet plan from MTN and start enjoying. YouTube made for you.
Mr. Teacher, please, what happens when children come to school? How is it that they leave home very neat and return looking so different?
Non-stop action, ma. All the learning and sports burn energy. So those sweat stains, torn uniforms, and dirty shoes, they show that your kid has been very active.
Now, wow.
Your kids need nourishing energy. Give them the new and improved Milo at breakfast. It has nutrients that support energy release to help them get the most out of their day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo!
Keep it 93.9.
Okay, I have some comments here. This one is coming from Festus Kennedy or Bafemi. It says, Akpabio must be sacked as Senate President. He is the worst Senate President in the history of democracy in Nigeria. He lacks manner and charisma to be a leader. Well, that's strictly your opinion. Adedayo, we practice one of the most expensive democracy in the world. That's why poverty rate keeps growing exponentially. Okay. Let me take another one. This is coming from Prince Zakaria Alowonle Jelili. Nigerian calls on them, the leaders, especially those senators and House of Representatives, is about to be implemented by. Okay. Let me skip that. I can't read that on air now. Those set of people are the bigger problem Nigeria is facing as a nation. Talking about the senators, do you have some?
Oh, definitely, I do. You should know I should have some comments here. From Providence E says, Nge should be on his way to prison for wasting our time with his propaganda. It would have been a year suspension. Let's not forget that we asked what would have happened to the constituents if we had been suspended for
Actually, somebody proposed a year suspension at the Senate yesterday, but I think they had to amend it and tamper the justice with mercy, like they used to say.
Tamper mercy with justice.
So it was actually somebody proposed 12 months. It was later reduced to 6 months, then later reduced to 3 months.
Well, he's going to have a fun time, with his vacation, though. Now, Senator Ningish just showed the entire nation where our problems lay. He was so bold doing that, and I'm sure he knows that. He knows what he's talking about. No senator supported him, and none is ready to tell the truth. The Labour Party senators are too quiet and secretive. Why is Labour into this now? Now, this is coming from ISO on X. Now, moving on to more comments right here. Let me see. Let me take this. Okay, I have more, especially
why you search for. Let me take this one that just came in. Akin Adekunle, truth is only bitter to liars. To those whose ways are not crooked, truth is sweet and have nothing to hide. From inception, this bunch of Nigerian senators are there for personal gains. If you think they are representing you, it is a joke. For how long will this continue? Coming from Akin Adekunle.
All right, Abubakar Alman says, for many of us, Senator Ningi's situation ought to be a wake-up call. In defense of what was just and in the opposition's best interest, he stood up for the people. Nonetheless, the leaders of his party have exhibited zero tolerance and eagerness to support him. Everyone is aware of this. The leader of his party ought to have summoned the lawmakers and asked them to support him. But in the end, We found out about his treachery and the fact that even his fellow party members were funding prayers for his suspension. To be clear, the PDP does not have any leadership. You know, when you were talking about Atiku wanting to leave the PDP and Comrade was saying that he's an institution, I wanted to ask, even if it's an institution, wouldn't it be better for him to have left, since I would say technically was one of the reasons for the downfall of the PDP in the previous election, especially the presidential run?
No, you can't say that Atiku was a...
he
was a candidate.
Let me say technically, or let me just say probable cause. Let me put it that way: the probable cause of the downfall of the PDP. Because most people didn't want him as...
Okay, now I get your point, because even
Even
talking about the G5 governors too, they were against. They didn't want his candidacy. Okay, I get your point
right
now.
There. But let's not delve into that. Let's move on to another funny story on the pages of the newspapers this morning, the suspension. And I tell you, people have been talking about the postponement of the of the student loan. Tinubu, not FG, okay? We'll get what's coming for you. Someone was like, are we sure this is going to actually work? That's from Godfrey. Wait, well, some people actually believe that the student loan scheme would actually work. Now, Will says FG, not Tinubu, is more focused on 2027 than governors. It was never going to take place. All those were mere words to keep the people calm. Alas, truth reveals itself.
Okay, there is this one coming from Butler Joseph. So, Ningi has been suspended. Indeed, truth has many enemies. Okay. Do you still have comments there?
Yes,
okay.
I think I have one that's talking about this. The same ruling party that were quick to approve the renovation of their offices and homes, including SUVs, said students' loan postponed indefinitely. We told the Nigerian students that the whole idea of the students' loan is to stylishly and mischievously increase school fees. But some of you said the student loan is a good initiative. That's deep. Really deep.
Okay.
All right. Should we draw the curtains there? Do you have more comments?
Okay, let me just. I don't think Okay, I have this one. I'm trying to sieve through there are some messages you can't read on air, so you need to read ahead before you decide to read it on air. Okay, a nation cannot be so poor for the devilish, unpatriotic and clueless leaders not to enrich themselves corruptly. Okay, that is coming from Moraino or Latunji. Okay, let me stop there.
All right, let me take this last one. Stad Dude Fire says, can they give us a reason for postponing the flag of the students' loan indefinitely, or was it just audio promises?
Well, I think Comrade Ajishope gave us some insight why the implementation had to be postponed indefinitely. I hope they work on it. We're keeping our fingers crossed, and let's see how these things will see. Like you said, well, let's see whether this will truly see the light of the day.
Oh, I like Comrade said, it must be implemented. So we keep our fingers crossed that it will. It should and can and will be implemented. My name is Favour Oloruntola. Thank you very much for your comment on Facebook. Akelabi Samuel, Afiz Ayolomo, and everybody on Facebook, Ogbeni Odeyemi. Thank you very much. Adejumo Oriomi, everybody on Facebook, on X platform, for dropping your comments. We sincerely appreciate you. Tomorrow will be another day on AM Update. Same time, 9 o'clock, starting with OLADAPO Kunubi, then to AM Update. Just stay stuck to Solutions 93.9 FM. Like we say, we're trying our best to make sure that you get the best on the airwaves.
Okay, my name is Adedamola Lafenwa, wishing you a winning Wednesday. Good morning.